Good morning. So today I wanted to film my 2019 planner collection, and I wanted to talk a little bit about how I decided what I'm going to use for 2020. So to start off, 2019 was kind of a busy, hectic year for me. I graduated, I got married, and I moved across the country. And I went from a schedule that was extremely structured to kind of freeform, which makes planning a little bit more difficult, especially when you're coming out from being a student and having classes and clinical rotations. When you get out of that kind of mindset and you realize that you can wake up at 11 o'clock and you're not going to miss something, it kind of makes you realize how much time you actually waste doing random things that you really don't need to. So when I got married and moved, all of a sudden I had all of this free time. So I placed it upon myself to make a schedule that will give me that kind of structure that I needed. So for that, I went to a traveler's notebook. Now, I went through multiple sizes in 2019, but the one that stuck with me the longest would probably be the standard as my everyday carry. So currently this is mixed in with the end of 2019 and 2020. So I have 2020 inserts, I have a 2020 monthly and the weekly, but my daily insert is still for December of 2019. And then on my last string is always my reference notebook. And this is a system that has worked for me for the past few months for the end of 2019. And so I plan on keeping it this way for 2020. But because I fell down that traveler's notebook rabbit hole, I ended up collecting a lot of covers that I will either occasionally use, or some of them are just empty. And for that reason, I wanted to do a video showing what covers I have, and hopefully this will, I don't know, make me feel a little bit better about how many I have. So I think I'm gonna go based on company, since in my mind that just makes most sense. So the biggest collection that I have from company is definitely Chic Sparrow. So I have five. I have five. I never actually counted it out loud. These two are standard. This is a personal, B6 Slim, and pocket. So for my two standards, I have the Chic Sparrow Creme Dark Chocolate with white stitching, brown elastics, and it is deluxe, which means that it has the pockets and the pen loop. This is a new style pen loop. And then this standard is a Mr. Darcy Mr. Wickham, also deluxe. It has orange stitching, white elastics, and again with the pockets and the pen loop. Both of these I got off of a buy sell trade group on Facebook. I highly suggest going through the buy sell trades before you buy something brand new, especially if you're not sure the size or the leather or whether you're even gonna like traveler's notebooks, because buy sell trades tend to be cheaper and you can actually see the product of what you're buying, versus if you buy new on Chic Sparrow, for example, you're not gonna see the final product until you receive it in the mail. So these two I both received from buy sell trades, and I really enjoy them. The thing about leather in general is that there are a lot of variations. So for example, I know I've had a creme before. This creme is a lot smoother than what I'm used to. And I've had a Mr. Darcy before, and this Mr. Darcy is a lot more textured, has a lot more wrinkles and fat rolls. Now this was rolled by the previous owner, so that might probably be the case, but still it's much different than what I've experienced in Mr. Darcy. So that is kind of the risk you have to take with buying a leather cover in general, is there are variations. The next size from Chic Sparrow I have is a B6 Slim. This is a Daisy Pemberley, or Pemberley Daisy. This leather is no longer being manufactured. Now Chic Sparrow, last I checked, they had a small stock of Pemberley still. So if you're interested in Pemberley leather at all, I would highly suggest getting it sooner rather than later, or getting it from a buy-sell trade. This was from a buy-sell trade. This is deluxe, so it has the pockets, and this is the older style pen loop. So you're gonna see Chic Sparrows off of the buy-sell trade with the older pen loops. This pen loop configuration is the newer one. It sticks out and then you can just fold it in. The older ones are sewed inward. Now the Pemberley line is very pebbly, but yet it's smooth. It doesn't have any rough edges. It's just extremely pebbly. And you can see this one is definitely older. It has a lot of patina, which means that the leather has changed over time, which is one of the beautiful things about leathers, is that they're always very individual as they get older. So this is a B6 Slim. I have a personal. Now this personal isn't mine, it's my husband's, but I keep it in my stash. This is a personal Mr. Darcy Buttered Rum. And this is, again, deluxe. It has the pockets in the old style pen loop, which is sewed inward. Now, this is the same leather type as this one. And as you can clearly tell, besides the color difference, this one does have a lot more rolls and wrinkles than this one. This buttered rum, when you receive a buttered rum brand new, it will not look like this. It is a much lighter color, if I can show you. So the inside part of this pocket here is a lot lighter than the outside cover. And that's because, again, this is older. It has a lot of patina. So that is my personal Mr. Darcy Buttered Rum. And the last one I just received last night, is this. This is a pocket Mockingbird Nightingale, and it's deluxe. It has, let's see, gray stitching, white elastic, and, well, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, to be honest. It's beautiful, it's very cute. It has some color variation along the edges, which I personally prefer color variation in my leathers. And the thing with the Mockingbird leather is that this is the first time I've ever had it. So I don't know if this is standard across all Mockingbirds, but this is extremely smooth, like very, very smooth. And the inside has like a texture, almost like a cloth texture. I wouldn't say it's like burlap, but it does have a cloth-like feel. And this reminds me of the sugar leather from Foxy Fix. And I've only had one sugar leather from Foxy Fix. I had the matcha. I don't believe, or they might have very limited quantity of it now, but it reminds me of it. Like, it's very smooth on the outside, and the inside texture has kind of a cloth-like feel. But this one feels even smoother, like almost slick feeling. And the sugar leather definitely does not have that kind of feel. But if you're coming from Foxy Fix sugar, this kind of reminds me of it. I'm not quite sure, but this is a beautiful gray pocket. So that is all my Chic Sparrows. Let me see if I can get a full-on picture. Probably not. But these are all my Chic Sparrows. So I have 5. The next one I'll go through would be Speckled Fawns. So Speckled Fawn, I only have 2. I have one more that I ordered for Black Friday. And Speckled Fawns takes a very, very long time for their products to get to you. It takes at least a month. I believe they say shipping delivery dates would be like 4 to 6 weeks. Mine typically arrive about around the month time. And that's just because these are very, very customized. So the Chic Sparrows, you can choose for the pockets, but everything else is very standard. So their shipping time is like within a week. it's ridiculous. But Speckled Fawns, because you can do all the customization, it takes a month. These are both in the same leather type, so these are both rustic Kodiaks. And of all the leather that I've ever felt from Speckled Fawn, rustic Kodiak is my favorite because it gives you that leather variation in almost every single cover that you can think of. You can get, I ordered both of these with the same color, same leather type, everything, and they both still look different from each other, and that's because of leather variation. So the rustic Kodiak, from what I understand, is very similar to a Chic Sparrow Waypoint. So if you want to experience the rustic Kodiak without waiting that month, you can get a Chic Sparrow Waypoint, and I'm told they're very, very similar. Now the rustic Kodiak is very easily scratched, and it rubs out. It's a very oily leather, so the more oily the leather is, the easier it can rub out the scratches. But also I think that might be another reason why there's such color variation, is because of the amount of oils in the leather. My only thing that I can suggest if you're going to order a rustic Kodiak is, for Speckled Fawns, you can request a reinforced spine, which means that the spine will have like a second piece of leather that runs across only the spine area, and it reinforces it so that it doesn't like buckle. And the rustic Kodiak is so soft and so pliable that I would actually suggest a rustic Kodiak with a reinforced spine. Now, I personally actually prefer not getting a reinforced spine because I find that it wraps around the inserts much better. But as you can see on the micro, at least, the edges where the elastics are, they are buckling inward, and that's just because the leather is so soft. So that would be something I would, or at least think about if you're going to order a rustic Kodiak from Speckled Fawns. But yes, the Speckled Fawn pocket configuration will differ based on what leather you're getting. This is the rustic Kodiak leather, so this is the pocket configuration. You can also elect for an elastic or a stitched in pen loop, which is very similar to the Chic Sparrow old style pen loops, which is stitch inward. The thing with the Speckled Fawn pen loops, they are very, very large. So if you want to compare to, let's say, the Chic Sparrow, this is the new Chic Sparrow, so the pen loop has not been used, and it's a reasonable size pen loop. You can fit most ballpoint pens, most gel pens. This pen loop will fit a fountain pen. It'll fit very, very wide pens in it. And I personally prefer the Chic Sparrow pen loops because I don't carry my fountain pen in my traveler's notebooks. So this pen loop is a little too large for me. I never thought I would say that, but it is. But that's something to consider if you're ordering a Speckled Fawns. Both companies have great customer service, so if you have any questions about their products, you email them and they'll get back to you within like 12 to 24 hours. It's very fast turnaround. So that is my Speckled Fawns. The next one I want to share would be this Le Cow or Lorite. So Le Cow or Lorite, they're both the same company. Le Cow has their own website and Lorite is based on Etsy. But they're owned by the same company, uses the same products. So you essentially can pick whatever company or whatever way you want to order. I personally got this from Lorite, so on Etsy, but I wanted the Le Cow insignia on the back because I think the little cow is very cute. But yeah, this was actually a custom. So the owner, whose name is Diamond, he is very, very accommodating to customs. I just had a very simple, very small question about one of his products. This was originally supposed to be a Hobonichi Weeks size. So it was supposed to have this, it has this pocket configuration, no strings, and Hobonichi Weeks size, which is slightly taller and skinnier than a B6 Slim, which is what this size is. So I found that product, I messaged him asking him if it's at all possible to make this a B6 Slim, and he got back to me in like 30 minutes. And I don't know how, because he lives across the world, so I'm pretty sure I was messaging him when he should be sleeping, but I mean, it was so ridiculously fast. I don't even know how. But this is a B6 slim size. The pocket configuration is like this. So it has 3 card slots, a slip pocket on the back, a slip pocket, and then 2 card slots on the front with a pen loop. Now this pen loop is the first time I've ever seen this type of pen loop, in which it's a loop that's stitched upon itself, and then that piece of leather is what attaches it to the notebook, which I thought was very cool because it makes it a lot more flexible and easier to maneuver. Also, he has this really cute closure mechanism. So it's a button in which it's elasticated. The elastic is poked in through the back. It has a knot right here, and you just slip it on, and it's very easy. I could do that with one hand. With my other traveler's notebooks with the elastic in the spine, for example, I have to use both hands to close it, like one to hold the notebook and one to put the elastic on. This one I can just do one-handed, which I'm not showing a very good example, but yeah, I can do this one-handed. And this is the only company that I've ever seen that mechanism from. Now, the notebook itself, this is glossy old boots leather with yellow stitching, brown elastics, and Rhine leather on the inside. If you are interested in these leathers, you're going to want to look up on his website pretty frequently, because he will go through leathers and he'll bring in new leathers, new colors, new styles all of the time. So if you're interested in this particular one, you're going to want to go onto his website pretty recent, like current. I know that he has this currently, so. And his products come from Taiwan. So I ordered it around Black Friday. It shipped within like the beginning of the second week of December. So starting the shipping was fast. Getting here after he shipped it took the longest. So that is something to consider if you're interested in a Lacao or a Larite. And my last covers are these two. So these two are fabric covers, as you can tell. These are both from So What Else Is New on Etsy. And I truly love her covers specifically because the quality in which she makes her covers is just impeccable. I've never had any issues with any stitching, with any fabric fraying. The button closure works beautifully. The elastic pen loop is always the right size for me. So I always really love her products. There are other companies that do fabric covers, and I'm sure they're all beautiful, but this is just the company that I prefer. Now, these two I both got during, actually I think I got these both on my birthday, so it'll be like mid-September-ish, I believe. She comes out with collections for the holidays or whatever fabrics that she's able to find. I think currently she has a Studio Ghibli collection that's out, which is so adorable. Now, I'm not getting any more, but I'm just saying, those are really cute. So this is the two covers I have. This is a wide or an A5, and this is a B6. Now, this size is, I would say it's in between a wide and an A5, because an A5 is slightly larger than a wide, but I can fit A5 inserts in here. The pocket configuration is going to be the same for both of them. So it has a slip pocket on the back, on the front with 2 card slots, and then on the back it again has a slip pocket and then the elasticated pen loop. Her traveler's notebooks come with 2 elastics, but you're able to string in as many elastics as you want because she has these 2 eyelets here. And so I just continually string on more elastics whenever I need them. This is the B6, which is the same pocket configuration. And yeah, that's all. That's all the notebooks that covers I have for the end of 2019. I'm hoping that I can do like a 2020 planner setup, as well as update my collections maybe once a quarter, possibly. I do regularly sell my covers that I'm not in love with, and I sell them hopefully to find people who would love them more than I do. But yeah, for now, this is all that I have. And I say that as if I don't have a lot, but I have a lot. If anyone has any questions about any of the leathers or any of the covers, please come ask away. And I hope you guys have a nice day.